Divine Souls. I'm truly grateful you're here with me in Oriah Divine Sanctuary, a space dedicated to healing, awareness, and spiritual alignment. If this video has appeared in your life today, trust that there may be a message here meant specifically for you. If the words shared here resonate with your spirit, I encourage you to like, share, comment, and subscribe so we can continue building a community centered around truth, healing, and higher consciousness. Earlier today, during meditation, I allowed myself to slow down, to breathe, and to simply be present. And in that quiet space, I began to tune into the energetic frequency of the collective, sensing what many people may be navigating on their spiritual journeys right now. And from that awareness, this message emerged. One of the most painful forms of grief is grieving something that never fully existed, not just grieving people, but grieving the relationship you hope to have with them. This often happens in core relationships, parents, siblings, caregivers, or close family systems. These are the relationships where we naturally expect certain things: love, safety, consistency, protection, understanding, emotional support, not perfection, but enough security to feel emotionally anchored. And when those needs go unmet, the pain can be profound, especially because these losses are often invisible. No one necessarily sees you grieving the parent you wish you had, or the sibling relationship you hoped would feel closer, safer, or more reciprocal. But internally, that grief can be immense because often you are not only processing what happened, you are grieving what did not happen, the conversations you never got to have, the support you kept waiting for, the emotional repair that never came, the moments of care, understanding, or accountability you hoped would eventually arrive. This is a unique kind of grief. Why? Because it is complicated by hope. As long as the relationship still exists in some form, many people keep waiting. Maybe this time they'll understand. Maybe this time they'll change. Maybe eventually we'll have the relationship I've always needed. Hope can keep people emotionally attached for years, sometimes decades. And while hope can be meaningful, it can also delay grieving, because fully grieving often requires confronting a painful reality. The relationship may never become what you needed it to be. That realization can feel devastating, not because you are giving up on love, but because you are releasing an attachment to a hoped for version of the relationship, a version that may not be available. This is where many people experience guilt, especially around family. They may think, am I being ungrateful, too sensitive, expecting too much? But emotional needs are not unreasonable. Wanting respect, care, emotional consistency, and relational safety is not excessive. It is human. And grieving unmet needs is valid. Healing often begins with honesty. Telling yourself, this hurt me, this affected me, this is not what I needed, without immediately rushing to justify, minimize, or rationalize everything. Sometimes people move too quickly into intellectual understanding. They did the best they could. That may be true, but even if true, it does not erase impact. Someone can have limitations, and you can still feel grief. Both can exist. Healing also requires separating their capacity from your worth. A parent's emotional immaturity is not evidence that you were unlovable. A sibling's inability to connect healthily is not proof that you were too much. Often, people internalize relational deficits as identity statements. Something must be wrong with me, but relational limitation is not always personal rejection. Sometimes it reflects emotional limitations, unresolved trauma, dysfunction, or patterns far larger than you. Understanding that can be freeing, not because it removes pain, but because it changes the story. You are no longer interpreting every unmet need as evidence of personal deficiency, and from there, something important becomes possible. You can begin building differently. You can grieve what you did not receive while intentionally creating healthier relationships moving forward, relationships built on mutuality, emotional safety, respect, honesty, and care. Grief and growth can coexist. You are allowed to mourn what was missing and still believe your future can hold something healthier than your past. That is part of healing, and it matters. Divine souls, thank you for stepping into Oriah Divine's sanctuary. This space exists to support your healing, elevate your awareness, and guide you through the sacred process of personal transformation. Here, you are safe to grow spiritually, emotionally, and authentically. And it is truly an honor to share this journey with you. Always remember, awareness begins the healing, but your transformation begins the moment you choose to honor your voice. Until we meet again, continue walking in truth, protecting your peace, and letting your divine light shine.